Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Floyd County has reopened its public parks to help ease the anxiety of the pandemic, but urges people to not use it as an excuse for mass gatherings. And we talk with folks at one Laurel County butcher shop about their thoughts on the current worries regarding a potential national meat shortage.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Wednesday, May 13th, and the time is about 6:33. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. Again, Brandon, just one more day until it's going to start feeling a little bit more like summer, and I'm here for it.
Yes, I'm excited. Listen, I'm usually not a hot weather person, but I'll take it over this mess we've had. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Let's take a look and see what's going on this morning. And guess what? It's more rain, but at least it's not cold this morning. We're seeing a heavier cluster of showers trying to move into parts of central Kentucky, riding along the I-75, so that'll cross over. Pulaski County seeing some heavier bands of rain near Somerset, just south of Somerset this morning. So keep that in mind. It's going to be back and forth all day long. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s for the most part, a little cooler rather up toward Huntington and northeast Kentucky where they had less clouds in the overnight hours. Your coffee meter, well, it's a normal day temperature wise, but of course it's going to be dreary and messy, so a little extra probably be needed maybe this afternoon to give you a pick-me-up as the rain continues to fall and it's just so overcast and dreary out there. The out-the-door forecast, though, takes us up to 56 today, but after that, the sky is the limit as we head to the next few days. Katie?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Brandon. Last night marked 1 month since a windstorm rolled in on Easter Sunday, knocking out power to more than 60,000 people and leaving widespread damage in its wake. While many have cleaned up, others are still looking at the mess they still have to deal with. WYMT's Will Puckett talked with some of those still working on that mess.
Have you ever heard the term hanging on by a thread? Well, Teresa Thomas is living it.
We did lose the anchors. We lost a few more pieces of the dock and everything. The wind has been unforgiving. And so on windy days, it's all hands on deck up here.
She owns East Kentucky Marina, and on Easter Sunday night, her once put together marina was turned upside down.
All of the anchors that are out there, there's only a few that you can get to by walking to them, so you have to take a boat to the rest of them because if you don't, you're going to have to swim to them.
This section is held together by just this rope. Another portion, while mangled, still attached.
There's no repairs that can be done over here.
Their marina is looking at a whole makeover, head to toe needing to be rebuilt. And 1 month removed from that stormy night, looking back a month ago to now, was this are you where you thought you would be, behind, ahead? Thoughts about that?
We're behind.
The process is moving slower than anticipated, but despite losing the summer months, they plan to make the most of it. In Pike County, Will Puckett, WYMT Mountain News.
Thomas plans to have a bait shop placed on the land for fishermen. Due to COVID-19, they are not able to have their water park, at least to start the summer off. And as for construction, she hopes that it is complete by August. Floyd County has reopened its public parks to help ease the anxiety of the pandemic. Judge Executive Robbie Williams says he believes the parks will benefit people who have been stuck at home, providing a chance to get some fresh air and a change of scenery as the pandemic continues. But he says the decision to open the parks does not mean the county wants mass gatherings to begin.
We don't want folks going out to the parks and having birthday parties, inviting 20, 30 family members, things of that nature. This is just an opportunity for people to get out and walk, let the kids play a little bit and get out and enjoy the weather.
Williams says people should still maintain their distance and consider bringing their own disinfectants as an extra measure if they plan to use playground equipment. Meat and poultry are just a couple of items that might get harder to find during this pandemic. Restaurants are taking certain items off their menu, and some grocery stores have empty shelves or restrictions on how many items you can purchase. C&P Butcher Shop in London still has meat on their shelves, and with new safety guidelines in place, owner Tony Thorpe says he is trying to continue to feed everyone.
Side, we've put these lines out here that the yellow is proceed with caution, red is give your neighbor some social distancing, greens go back to safety to your vehicle.
The shop is only operating through curbside pickup, and Thorpe says as he continues to serve up meat, he sees the next 4 to 6 weeks getting tougher. For the past 6 decades, God's Pantry Food Bank has helped families in need in central and eastern Kentucky. And on this Kentucky Gives Day, they are thankful for donations and support, as well as partnerships with companies. WYMT has teamed up with God's Pantry Food Bank, along with Kentucky Power and Appalachian Wireless, to help fight the hunger need through a virtual food drive. Officials say the need for these partnerships and donations is greater than ever.
Companies are realizing that many of the folks that we serve on a daily basis, and in particular, I think during this pandemic, many of the people that we're serving are people who work in some of these companies.
Griffin says on average around 250,000 central and eastern Kentuckians do not know when or where their next meal will come from. We'll have a link that makes it easy to donate on our website. Well, now let's hand it over to Brandon Robinson, who tells us about a cause close to his heart.
That's right, Katie, and you know this one is personal to me, so I'm glad that they give me the opportunity to read this one. Of course, most of you know about my fight as a brain cancer survivor. Yesterday was my 4th birthday since I was diagnosed with brain cancer, and each year my wife and I like to give back and bring awareness to this disease through the Gray Matters 5K. Well, this year, the 3rd annual race had to be postponed due to COVID-19. WYMT's Camille Gear has more on the new date and what this event means to us and other survivors.
The sound of a race is something Stephanie Robinson was looking forward to this Saturday.
I mean, it was really hard. We couldn't come up, you want to get through the summer and you don't want it to be so hot.
But due to COVID-19, the Robinsons moved the 3rd annual Gray Matters 5K to August 22nd.
We just kind of went in the middle, picked a good date. I said the 22nd's a good round number. I said, let's go for it. So it's kind of how it came about.
Although the race will not take place during Brain Cancer Awareness Month, the Robinson family is still excited.
But I mean, our race day that morning and now that night, it's magical. Just the environment. I mean, it's electric. So we're really anxious for it.
It's all about giving back to those that have been through so much.
And we can help raise awareness and fundraise for something that may help or save someone else down the road that goes through the same life-altering experience that we have already been through.
And for survivors like Christy Combs, meeting other survivors at the race is everything.
And it's so important to be around those people and share our stories and our battles, because no one understands unless you've been there.
Survivors and racers alike, just hoping to cross the finish line. Camille Gear, WYMT, Mountain News.
We appreciate Camille for doing that for us. And of course, this is Brain Cancer, Brain Tumor Awareness Month. This Friday, we've asked folks to submit their photos on social media with the hashtag GoGray, G-R-A-Y, in May, and just light it up this weekend or this Friday and show us your support. Of course, if the proceeds from this year's race go to ICANN Services right here in Letcher County, it helps cancer patients, and the Team Colton DIPG Foundation in Breathitt County. So all the money from this year's race stays local. If you want to see how you can register for the race to sign up, you can visit our website at WYMT.com. All right. Let's move on into our Helpers and Heroes segment, our daily segment here, where we continue to highlight those folks who are serving us across the community right there on the front line. Let's go to our first picture this morning. And today, that first picture was submitted by Brenda Tackett. This is her daughter, Amy. Amy is the Transportation Director for the Floyd County Fiscal Court and is currently working serving the folks at the Will Wright Senior Citizen Center while her normal position is on hold during the pandemic. Thank you, Amy, for going above and beyond for the people of Floyd County. Next, Vaughn sent us this picture of his nieces, Nancy and Houston. Nancy is a phlebotomist at Hazard ARH, and Houston is a SRNA at the East Kentucky Veterans Center, also in Hazard. Vaughn says, no matter the circumstances, both are always up for any task and are willing to help out in any way that they can. Well done, ladies. And finally today, Mary sent us this picture of her friend Sam. Sam works as a respiratory therapist full-time at St. Joseph Hospital and part-time for 2 other hospitals. That's a huge job outside of a health pandemic where the virus does a number, during this health pandemic where a virus does a number on the respiratory system. Mary says Sam is a great friend and person, and she's very thankful for her, and we are too. Mary, of course, we've gotten so many submissions, and keep them coming. We want to showcase and highlight all these frontline workers, the folks out there helping to make a difference in our communities. You can find that link to do that on the Helpers and Heroes page at WYMT.com. You can also right there on the website, on the homepage, right below the radar, you can see that link to add media. Katie?
Awesome, Brandon. Thank you for that. We'll be right back with some of today's top stories.